Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
A worker who claimed they were unfairly sacked could be referred to the AFP for allegedly giving misleading evidence while taking legal action against his boss. Imran Karim Budwani claimed he had been unfairly dismissed by IT multinational Infosys after he refused to return to the office after the COVID pandemic. Mr. Budwani took the matter to the Fair Work Commission in March before his unfair dismissal application was rejected. The FWC published its decision this week with Commissioner Philip Ryan claiming the applicant knowingly gave false and misleading evidence. I will refer the matter to the General Manager of the Commission to consider whether the applicant's conduct should be the subject of a referral to the Australian Federal Police, he said. Mr. Budwani was hired to look after computers, printers and scanners at Infosys North Sydney headquarters in 2018. When the COVID pandemic struck, the company required anyone working in the office to be vaccinated. FWC found that Mr. Budwani deliberately lied to Infosys by stating that he was vaccinated against COVID so that he could continue to attend the office. Under cross-examination, Mr. Budwani said he was only caught out lying about his vaccination status when he was asked to produce his vaccination certificate. Despite his dishonesty, the company allowed him to temporarily work from home, though this meant there were some IT support tasks he could not carry out. His manager, Nimshi Osman, had to do the Sydney office work that Mr. Budwani could not do remotely, and asked the Human Resources Department in the second half of 2022 if he could return to the office. The COVID vaccination rule was still in place, though, so Mr. Budwani was not allowed to work from the office. But more than a year after that, on November 2, 2023, Mr. Osman was told the policy had been relaxed and unvaccinated employees could return to the office. The next day, Mr. Osman called Mr. Budwani and told him to return to the office the following week. Mr. Budwani gave various reasons around health conditions and living arrangements which he said would prevent him from returning to the office until February or March 2024. He was told he had to provide a medical certificate to be allowed to continue to work remotely. The medical certificate he provided was from a doctor in Malini, Queensland, which was the first indication Infosys had got that Mr. Budwani was not living in NSW. On November 24, the company told him to return to the Sydney office from December 11 or provide evidence as to why he couldn't. Mr. Budwani emailed to say he had a medical condition and again said he wouldn't be able to come in until February or March. When the company told him to apply for leave and asked if he was living in Queensland, he did not reply. When a follow-up email was sent on December 8, an auto-reply came back saying Mr. Budwani was on leave until December 11, but he had not booked any leave. He then kept on changing his auto-reply to extend the leave he said he was on, without having asked for any time off. He continued to not respond and the company sacked him on December 21. Mr. Budwani then falsely deallocated 3 laptops that had been issued to him, the FWC heard. In this respect, the applicant's conduct was reprehensible, the commission said. Before the FWC proceedings last March, Mr. Budwani said a personal emergency had been part of his decision to take leave, but on the first day of the hearing, he refused to answer questions about what that was. On the second day, he said it was an eviction notice and that he had extended his leave to move out and return to work. But he then changed his story several times, including saying that one leave period was to spend time with a friend who had come to visit. Mr. Budwani also said he had met some good friends at an Airbnb who had asked him to cat-sit their house for the period of March 2, 2024 to March 21, 2024. His unfair dismissal application was not successful.